Hey, Converted Man here. I'm going to be covering something a little bit different today. I found this while looking for something to cover, and this guy has some beef with Godless Engineer. Now, normally I wouldn't cover that sort of thing because I'm not Godless Engineer. I don't want to talk for him or, anything like that. It's just let it be between those two people, But it does seem like Godless Engineer had said that this guy EA DAWah, whatever, is not an honest conversationalist, and whether he is or isn't, we'll kind of ferret out, what we think about that. And so listening to what was said, and I thought I would weigh in on this. So EA DAWA calls this video proof Godless Engineer admitted to believing in a necessary being! Exclamation. And it says it's for John Gleason, and all his fans are claiming that he's a liar and being dishonest. I have the exact moment where he admits to a necessary being as the fabric of the universe. If you don't see it now, I don't know what else to tell you. So he has this clip from whatever it is, that of Godless Engineer speaking. There's somebody else in there talking as well. And so Kali here, I guess, which is El Dawa, I don't know. So I'm just going to play what he plays and then try to explain to Kala what I already explained in the comments, which I don't think he'll read. I don't think he'll watch this video either. And but it might be interesting. I don't know. Let's see.
Something that does not have an explanation for its existence, something that did not begin to exist. Now, the law of thermodynamics states that matter and energy cannot be created nor destroyed.
All right, I'll take a momentary pause. Actually, no, the second law isn't about matter and energy. It's just energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Matter absolutely can. So it's just a remembering of the second law. But okay.
Depending on if they're in an open or closed system. So you could, at this point, make the argument that matter and energy is the necessary existence, is this necessary fundamental property in which all contingent things derive from. Is that something that might be reasonable to believe?
I don't know. John, help me out, man.
Well, I mean, I think that it's reasonable to believe, and that's why earlier what I said was that I have a hard time distinguishing God from just the very fabric of reality.
Okay, so learning informal logic has enabled me to read between the lines. Also, critical analysis helped a lot with that too. But what was actually said versus what you think that might have been said. So it is reasonable to believe X. That is what was actually said. Or that it might be reasonable to believe in X, which is important to note. That maybe it is, maybe it's not. I think it could be reasonable. It might be, it might be just a misstep of statement. But regardless, saying that you think it's reasonable to believe in X is not the same as saying that you do believe in X. There is a big difference. So it could very well be that although individual A, B, C, and D all think that it's reasonable to believe that something is true, they do not themselves believe that that's true. That is a perfectly logical state of being. Whether or not we would want people to do that's another matter. It's like, well, but if it's reasonable, then shouldn't you believe that it's true? There's also a separation here of that if there's no differentiance between energy being the quote unquote necessary cause and God, then we don't need God because we have energy. If we have energy and it already fulfills the conditions of being able to do what was done, we do not need to then rename energy God. And besides, energy doesn't seem to have the qualities that are associated with God, that are claimed to be about God. So even if you're right in saying, well, you've admitted there's a necessary being. No, he didn't say that was a being, because energy isn't a being either. It's a necessary thing, perhaps. Maybe you're admitting that, or maybe you're saying it could be that. But you're not really saying that, because you're not saying that you actually believe that that's the case. You're just saying that it might be reasonable. So I think that this is just a very big misstep. Whether it's deliberate or not, I don't know. But it is a misstep in understanding what was said. And so perhaps Godless Engineer, after interacting with this guy for goodness knows how long, has seen this guy do this thing before, where he will take and he will, take a bit of the conversation and kind of turn it on its ear and say, well, here's where you actually admitted it, even though it's actually hypothetical. And throughout a conversation, it's bound to happen. It's bound to happen where you slip and you say something that you didn't mean to say or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna prove that you said this, and it's like, and even if you did do that, it's like, well, could I not change my mind? Yeah, I mean, what do you want? So it's just interesting to me that this is kind of a sloppy approach to language being taken here. And why Kala, whatever, EA DAWAH, can't say any of these names that he's got here, why he would do this, why he would continue trying to have this debate when the other side doesn't want to debate, I don't know. This isn't proof that he admitted to believing in a necessary being, because energy isn't a being. And it's not proof because he didn't say that he believed in it, just said it's reasonable to believe in, which is different. So on every account that you could be correct, you're incorrect. And I kind of think that my conclusion is that you're incorrect because you think you are right, and you're not right, but you want to win the point. You want to be like, look, I've proven this single point during goodness knows how many different exchanges that I've had with this individual, and they're already moved past it, and perhaps you're dead to them, and that's that. So I think that this does come off as somewhat of a dishonest approach to having an actual conversation with somebody, or even having a debate with somebody, because you're just nitpicking at this point, and you're not really engaging in an information exchange. You're not trying to understand the other side or what they're trying to say here. All you're doing is trying to bolster your side. And so for those reasons, people are going to be pretty skeptical of you. Of course, the people in the comments pretty much agree with you, but goodness knows if you delete the comments that don't agree with you or not. I don't know. But there's no evidence for a being that is anything other than the beings that we already have. And it's just philosophical mumbo jumbo to talk about necessary beings. It's just incoherent. Show me that there's a being besides human, besides other animals, and then we'll talk. But until then, I'm just not interested in it. So anyways, I thought it'd be a little interesting kind of look at language and proof that, EA DAWAH, whatever, doesn't understand just in general. Maybe understand language. I don't know. I is this proof of him not doing that? Maybe not. I don't know. But did it get your attention? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below.